I'm Haley and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited because today I want to do another installment in a newish series here on my channel, which is ranking the last 15 fragrances that I've tried. I'm running a little bit behind on this series just with the craziness of the last few months, but I'm hoping to catch up a little bit and then do another one of these in the next couple of weeks to kind of get through like the next grouping of fragrances that I've tried. So I'm super excited to talk about some fragrances that I really liked and some that I really did not like, but you know, we'll get through all of them. I think I'm gonna start least favorite to favorite, and we'll see how it all shakes out. Some of these are just samples. I definitely always recommend you try before you buy a full bottle. Some of these I did buy and regret it, so don't do what I did. So since some of these are just samples and one is actually used up, I will just pop up a picture of the fragrance bottle on the screen right here instead of, you know, showing you each individual bottle. So this was just gonna be a quick fun little one to get into what I liked and what I didn't like of the fragrances that I've tried recently. So I hope you'll stick around and enjoy. So in the bottom spot at number 15, this is Sabrina Carpenter's Me Espresso. I just didn't like this, you guys. I don't think the combination of notes smells good. It has this orchid floral note that combined with the coffee scent just smells really dirty to me. Like it kind of smells like BO and it's just not something I enjoy. And like I said in my video reviewing these, I think this is popular and I'm just the outlier on this one, but I just did not think this is to my taste and I don't like this fragrance at all. Then in number 14, another Sabrina Carpenter fragrance. This is Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth Caramel Dream. And I just didn't like this one. I feel like the spiciness of the sandalwood on this one just overpowers the fragrance and gives it this really just like way too strong spiciness, and I don't get any of those sweeter notes. I'm not getting like the fun, supposedly gourmand vibe this fragrance gives to a lot of people. I really just get that overwhelming spiciness, and for that, I don't enjoy this fragrance. Next up at number 13, I'm definitely gonna lose track of the the order here, so I'm just holding on to it as long as I can. But this is a fragrance that I don't think smells bad. I was just really disappointed in the quality, and that is Snif's Rose Era. So this is an influencer collab, and I think it smells pleasant, but it just smells really weak. It's a, you know, a pretty rosy floral scent. It really just smells like a watered down designer floral in my opinion, but I just feel like this really didn't last on the skin. It didn't last on me. It doesn't last on paper. It just super weak. And I feel like this bottle right here, this is their travel size. It's not a sample, but it looks like a free sample. And I think this is like 30 something dollars, which I feel like is incredibly overpriced for what you get in terms of the quality of the fragrance itself and the bottle. Like this looks like a free sample. And then recently I even noticed Ulta giving this away, plus I think the Sweet Ash one from Snif as like a gift with purchase. So I feel like even more justified. If they're giving these away as a gift with purchase, I shouldn't be paying 30 something dollars for this. So definitely incredibly disappointed in this fragrance. I don't think the quality is there. I don't think it lasts, and I just feel like it's really, really watered down. Like I said, the actual fragrance itself doesn't smell bad, but this is not one that I can recommend. Next up, I have a couple of cherry fragrances that just happen to fall in the lower part of this ranking. And the one I liked the least of the two is Clean Reserve Whipped Cherry. I just feel like this smells really medicinal, and I don't like it. You know, I don't think it smells quality. I don't think it's very nuanced. It just smells very screechy and like a cough syrup cherry or like a cough drop scented cherry, and that is not my vibe. Then next up, I had the Sabrina Carpenter cherry fragrance, Cherry Baby. You know, I think this is better than the Clean Reserve Whipped Cherry, but I still don't think it's great. I think it's like kind of just low quality. It smells like something that you could pick up at, you know, Walmart in the body spray section. Like, no hate on that. I just don't think that this is worth the price tag that it commands. Then next up, I had another Sabrina Carpenter fragrance. This is the original Sweet Tooth. This is ranking, you know, the top of the Sabrina Carpenter fragrances here. I think it's nice and pleasant. I think it's, you know, very youthful. I think a lot of people would like this one. It's just not for me. It's just very sweet and I just didn't get a lot out of this. But I do think it's the best one of the Sabrina Carpenter's that I tried. And this whole next section I feel like is kind of tied. They're all kind of similar, just like sweet fragrances that, you know, are nice, but they're very one note and that's kind of all they do. So the first one is Dolce & Gabbana Dolce Violet. I thought this was nice. It's not offensive by any means. It's a sweet fruity floral, but it's not really anything else to it. And I thought it was fine, but I don't think, you know, it's gonna be one that I'm gonna be reaching for a lot. And then another sweet fruity fragrance that is also very one note is Fleur's Strawberry Letter. You know, it is what it is. I have this on my fragrance tray this month to try and get some more wear out of it, and I think it's fine. It's just extremely sweet and fruity, and there's not much else there. There's not really much of a base on this one. So while I am trying to encourage myself to wear this, just to get a little bit of my money's worth on this one, I don't think it's great unless you're really just looking for a very basic fruity floral. And then in that same vein is Yum Bougie Marshmallow from Kayali. I think this is fun, it's nice, it's pleasant, but it's really just a sweet cotton candy scent with some fruity notes. So I've said this so many times that I feel like this is basically just a perfume dupe of Bath & Body Works Cotton Candy Cloud. So if you like Cotton Candy Clouds and you want a perfume version, pick this one up. But that's kind of all there is. I had it on my fragrance tray last month and I didn't reach for all that much. You know, again, I don't think any of these fragrances are offensive, but they're just very basic without much like of a base, without much nuance or anything like that. Then next up is a sample that I got, I think, from Sephora. And this is Queens and Monsters by Henry Rose. This is a celebrity brand. I think it's by Michelle Pfeiffer, but I could be wrong here. And I think this is nice. It is a little bit more of a sophisticated, spicy-ish floral fragrance. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that these are supposed to be, you know, I don't know if they're alcohol free, but I think they're supposed to be like a clean brand. So I don't know much about this fragrance, but I did like it. I'm, you know, not gonna go out and purchase a full version of this, but I don't think it's bad. And then another sample that I was able to try is Dead Cool's Sunlit Blooms. And this is actually nice. I didn't like it on myself. Like, I found that it did have pretty good lasting power, but just lingered in a way that I wasn't loving. But this is an orange blossom white floral fragrance that is very solar to my nose. I just don't love orange blossom. It's not something that I really like. And I feel like it lingers on me in a way that, you know, I just don't want. But I do know people who love orange blossom and white floral fragrances, and I think they would really enjoy this one. It's very like a springy, like solar vibe that I think would appeal to a lot of people. Next up is another fruity, sweet fragrance, and that is the Seven Virtues Candy Lychee. I actually like this one a lot more than some of the other ones that I talked about. I really like the lychee note. It kind of gives it a wateriness that cuts through the ultra sweetness of this, and I think it's pretty, you know, it's very feminine, very girly, and I'm excited to wear this one a little bit more in the spring months. Next up is a niche fragrance that's available at Sephora, and that is the Maker Dream, and this is a sort of a little bit of a spicy gourmand scent. It's sweet, but it's not like dripping in sugar or anything like that. So it definitely has some layered vibes, some nuance here. It definitely has like base, middle, top notes, like unlike some of the other fragrances that I talked about. So I think this is nice. I think the quality is there, and I did really enjoy trying this one out. Then I have another fragrance that's on my perfume tray for this month, and that is Chloe EDP Intense, and this one is pretty different from the original Chloe. I talked about this in my review of this one, but this is basically just a rose raspberry perfume. It's pretty sweet, but it's not cloying, and the raspberry note is really fun. I definitely can pick out that raspberry. I feel like this makes it really nice for the colder months because it does have some nice lasting power. I feel like this gives a nice scent bubble, and I'm really enjoying this one. I think it's kind of a departure from some of the other Chloe flankers, and I appreciate that. I think it's fun, and they went in a little bit of a different direction, so I'm enjoying using this one a lot. Then this next one was also just a sample, but I used it up. This is my number 2 pick out of all these fragrances, and that is the Merit Retrospect perfume. I really like this. I used it up on a trip that I took, and I thought it was just very fun, very sophisticated, and super different from what I feel like a lot of the other fragrance releases lately has been. It's not like a super sweet dripping in sugar fragrance. It is an aldehyde fragrance, so it kind of has this like sparkling, sophisticated vibe that feels a little bit vintage while still being new. So it doesn't feel like vintage in a way that's dated. It feels like a very fresh take on an aldehyde fragrance, which I really enjoyed and appreciated. And then last up, my number 1 fragrance out of the last 15 that I've tried is actually an affordable fragrance, which I think is awesome. And this is from Le Monde Gourmand. This is Cerise Riche, and I really enjoyed this one. It is a very like deliciously dark cherry fragrance with a lovely spicy patchouli base, and I just really like this one. I feel like it is so great for the price. If you like things like Tom Ford Lost Cherry, but you don't want to drop Tom Ford cash, this is definitely one for you to check out. I love the patchouli. I love the spiciness of this. I think it's great for winter, but it's not heavy. The cherry is really well done. It doesn't smell cheap to my nose, and it's not medicinal. So I just really think this is really nice. It's very layered. It is complex. It's not just cheap, you know, slap some cherry cough syrup in the bottle vibe. So I really like and appreciate that this is accessible and affordable, and that is why this is my number 1 pick. I really have been enjoying reaching for this one, and I have a little bit of a dent in this one already. I'm not sure if you can see, but I really have enjoyed wearing this one over the last couple of months. So that's my ranking of the last 15 fragrances that I've tried. Like I said, I'm gonna try and catch up on the series a little bit, so I'll have one in a couple of weeks as well. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on any of these fragrances. If you like or dislike any of them, I would love to hear what you think. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.